I don't care if it's a week, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? LeBron James. That's who y'all gotta start appreciating. And you gotta stop disrespecting this man. You got AJ Brown, who's a legit number one, and you got Julio, who's a legit number one. One of them dudes gotta get double teamed. Who gonna get double teamed? And whoever gets double teamed, the other one gets the ball. I'm saying this with no pun intended, with full of pride. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another edition of the Prideful podcast. As always, it is your boy Pride. I do got a guest. He will be popping off momentarily. First and foremost, I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Safety, I hope, was first. If anybody was drunk or anything like that, I hope y'all stayed home. You know, we don't want anyone making any decisions that would ruin their lives, anyone else's lives, in a negative way. So, with that out the way, let's get this first topic on the road to trade or not to trade. NBA teams are starting to get a better picture of what they got, what is missing, all that stuff. So, the million-dollar question is, what trades should be made? Now, depending on the team and what they're missing, I think that kind of is the first problem. Now, one team I want to say, the Clippers. Now, the Clippers do need they do need somebody else, right? They need a third star, so to speak. They need to be able to have somebody else that when they trade for them now is able to make sure that they can fit perfectly when Kawhi Leonard gets healthy. That's the problem. Whether or not they can do it really depends on the right person. One person I'm thinking they should trade for, Miles Turner. Now, see, a lot of people have this misconception on Miles Turner that he's horrible, et cetera, et cetera. But he's not. He's not. I like Miles Turner because if you put him in there, he's the big man that they need. He's really not ball dominant in the way that a lot of other guys are. They need help in terms of the center position. So that would be an upgrade. And with his play style, you could make an argument that him and Paul George will work together fine. And so will the addition of Kawhi Leonard, because if you think about it, the thing about big threes, each of them needs to be able to do something different. That's kind of one of the biggest things, right? For instance, if you have a guard, a forward, a versatile forward, and then just a big man, that is kind of what you want. You don't want two guys who are ball dominant. You don't want two guys that always live in the paint. You don't want two guys that, in order to make an impact, need the ball. You don't need that. You got Kawhi Leonard, who, when it's time to get a bucket, he'll get the bucket. You have Paul George, who can sort of kind of run an offense, not too crazy. On top of that, they got Tyler Lue telling them what to do. And then you got the big man in Miles Turner. Me personally, I would like that. Again, I genuinely believe it makes sense in some aspect. Another person who should be traded, I would say Colin Sexton. I think Colin Sexton is in this thing. Obviously, the Cleveland Cavaliers want to trade him. They like Darius Garland more, and they believe, that's the guy we want to go with. They're kind of resetting the time, their whole little timetable that they have. Thing with Colin Sexton, he needs to go to a place because look, even though he's a guard, he's a point guard. He's not a point guard. He's a shooting guard. And my guest has arrived. It's that man, Coach Dante. How you doing, my guy?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me on the show again, man. Shout out to you for coming on the channel, on my channel, being that referee, being that enforcer, man. Let me know anytime you want to link up with somebody, you want to come on, talk sport, basketball, or anything. Just hit me up, man.
110%. I am here. I am available. So whenever you want me to go, I will be there. But I was just talking about Colin Sexton.
Okay.
Basically, the NBA teams, they should start trying to do trades, all that good stuff. The first name I had mentioned, I'll go back to this Colin Sexton thing in a minute, but the first name I mentioned was Miles Turner. And I believe a team that should trade for him should be the Clippers. because I feel like when you have a big three, it's important for each guy to be able to do something different. So you can't have two guys who are ball dominant being a big three because it just won't work out. You know what I
Yep.
mean? That's
Yep.
why I feel like if you add a guy like Miles Turner, not only will it bring Vucevic onto the bench, or not Vucevic, um, what's the
Zubac.
name?
Zubac.
Zubac. Yes, thank you, Zubac. Instead
Yeah.
of having you can bring Zubac off the bench, which he still will come off the bench. He'll still be a great guy, and you have a big three and Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Miles Turner, which I think would be relatively solid. Am I bugging on that?
You're not bugging on that at all, man. I think Miles Turner is a solid guy, man. I think he's a solid player. The guy can, like I say, he can block shots. He can block shots. He can also shoot from the outside. He's a very good player, and he'll be a valuable piece to any championship contender or playoff team. He's been in trade rumors like a couple of years so far. He was in the
Yep,
trade rumors with Boston earlier this year. So again, I think Miles Turner will be a decent pickup for the Clippers. And again, space giving you that floor spacing. Also can play the
thank you,
five
Rio.
as well.
Yes,
And hey, man, yeah, this guy's a ball player if he's used the right way. So you can't go wrong with
yes,
Miles Turner.
yeah, and like I said, putting Miles Turner in, frankly, a place where A, he would be the best big man on that team. And B, like you said, he could shoot. He could space the floor to the point where he has the ball at the 3 point line. You have to respect him. And with him having the ball out there, he's also smart with it. So if you see
Yep.
somebody cut, he'll he'll throw the ball to them. So I definitely do like that. The next the name I was actually saying before you had hopped on, Colin Sexton. Now
Okay.
obviously his name has been kind of circulating with rumors for a while because Cleveland was like, look, we don't want him anymore.
Yeah.
We don't want him. And real, it's going to be a long one. It's going to be however long coach want to be here.
Yeah, it
However
doesn't matter,
long he
man.
want to be here.
I man, I can talk all day.
Bro,
It
this
don't
is
even
his
matter.
show.
Yep.
This is his show, and I'm just living in it. I don't know if my guy want to go, but I will say I do like the idea of having Colin Sexton go to a place where he can just be a bucket. He doesn't have to worry about any other responsibilities outside of that. Listen, he's very tenacious on defense.
Yeah.
So let him go to a place like Brooklyn, where they just need that third guy to just the offense is getting clogged. We need a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, context. You know what I mean? A place kind of the same way, maybe even with LA. If you can get involved with Russell Westbrook or something like that. Because I like Colin Sexton, and I genuinely believe he'll be able to fill a role kind of like what Devin Booker does for the Suns. When these guys, they can't really, you know, eh, the whole thing is stagnant. The offense is stagnant. They need a guy just to go out and get the bucket. Boom, enter Colin Sexton, who's like, hey yo, y'all need a bucket? Huh, that's my job.
Yeah.
And then he does his thing. You know what I mean, Coach?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Colin Sexton is a great player. I mean, averaged 24 points per game last year. His 3 point percentage went up as well.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's a walking bucket, and what I
Yep.
love about him coming out of college, coming out of Alabama, they went to the second round and lost, got blown out by Villanova. But this
Yep.
guy's a competitor. This guy plays defense. He has passion in his game, and
Yes.
he's not afraid to go to the basket, draw contact, and he's a small guard, but his size was get you. He's not afraid to go to the basket and attack the basket, and he's not afraid of contact. He's not afraid of the big moment. Go ask Brooklyn that last year
Yes.
how great he played those last back to back 2 games against Brooklyn. So I don't know what it was in Cleveland. I think that this is what it was when I read reports that the teammates didn't like playing with him. They didn't like his playing style. So
So yeah,
basically,
that was
that was
that
it.
was one of the problems. And by the way,
Yeah,
Rio, we're gonna talk about this. So, Coach, don't
yeah,
tell me nothing. We're gonna talk about this. And same thing, Gritty, and we'll touch on
yeah,
this as well. But the problem was that he just wanted to score, 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 score. So as a
yeah,
lot of his teammates felt. Now he has worked on it. The reason they want to trade him now was because if I'm not mistaken, Colin Sexton's contract is coming up.
yeah,
They're not in a position where they feel like we need to keep him.
Yep.
because they're like, we'll pay him and we'll probably still be a bottom team. Now
Yeah.
they have that young guy, Darius Garland, who they kind of see a younger version, which is kind of wild because Colin Sexton is still young, but they're pushing it as a younger Colin Sexton.
Yeah.
So they don't think both of them can work well together, which is why they're going to trade the older guy. Makes sense. I get it. Um, but in terms of like any other names, what other players can you see getting traded to help, let's say, a playoff caliber team like Dallas or something like that?
Okay, I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna give you a couple guys, and
Mm-hmm.
they play on the Houston Rockets. Eric Gordon will be a good fit for any type of playoff team coming off the bench. If you got a hurt player, you can also start them.
Yes.
Right now, we're in a position where we're rebuilding. We're one. We all bet our youngest players right now. We're rebuilding the franchise through Eric Gordon. I mean, not through Eric Gordon, but through Jalen Green and Mike Kevin Porter Jr. Those
Yes.
are the franchise guys that we're building this team around. So there's no need to keep Eric Gordon on this team, even though he has played some good basketball. He has been professional, and I'll say I applaud anybody that's not being a cancer, that's being professional, that's want to go out there and play until something happened. Something happened. John Wall's been professional, but the Rockets them already came to an agreement. Don't want to play him. Don't want to play him. They came to an agreement with each other. But I think Eric Gordon will be a solid person for any type of playoff team. If Boston in the playoffs, you can put Eric Gordon on the bench. You can put Eric Gordon on the
Yes.
bench. If someone get hurt in that starting lineup, he can get in that lineup. He can go to the rim. He can shoot the ball from deep. He's not a playmaker. He's a scorer. So that's what you need down the stretch. You need someone that can make plays and put the ball in the basket. And Eric Gordon is a big steal. He's like a football player. His body is built like
Yes.
a football player. He plays defense. He can get to the basket at will, relentlessly as a
Yes.
6'3". Remember, he was Mr. Basketball in Indiana. And he had 20-point seasons when he was at New Orleans when he got hurt. So Eric Gordon will be another great piece that any playoff team that needs all that if you want to if you're making on the verge of making the playoffs and you need that one little piece, Eric Gordon is a guy that can fit that mold, and he's also a veteran, so he knows how to win. He's a professional in that locker room. So
Mm-hmm.
with Boston, if they're in a playoff hunt or something like that, or any playoff team, Eric Gordon is a great person to have in your locker room. And when you need some scoring, that guy can provide for you. And John Wall, that's obvious. That's obvious. He probably can't shoot as much, but he still can get to the basket. He still can get to the basket at a high rate. He can play defense. You already everybody know John Wall can play some good ass defense.
Right.
He's physical, and he want to go to a playoff team. So it's obviously he's gonna go to and help out somebody's team. And don't be surprised if the Rockets trade Christian Wood because he doesn't want to be a part of this rebuild anymore. And this
Right.
guy is a walking bucket too, as man. This man
Yes.
has long arms. The only thing about it, he just has a slight frame. He just small inside, but he can
Right.
also get you out of the paint, shoot the three.
Spread that floor.
He's not a great free throw shooter, but he can get to the basket and he's very long, man. He's very athletic. So them three guys, don't be surprised. I know Eric Gordon and John Wall is going to get traded sometime, but don't be surprised if he's on that market. And Buddy Hield is going to be on that market as well. They already tried to trade him. He's supposed to be in the deal with the Lakers, and LeBron
Yep.
James said no. Said no. He went to the Russell Westbrook. So Buddy Hield, I think he's on there as well. If it don't work out against Dallas, you can see Porzingis on there. I think everything is cooled down. I haven't heard nothing in Dallas. I think it's okay now. But
Yep.
again, those are the four guys. Those are the four guys. Buddy Hill could be there in that situation too.
Yep. And I do like what you said about Eric Gordon because the thing is his versatility. And what I mean
Yeah.
by that is he can come off the bench and be that
Yep.
spark plug. Oh, someone's injured, you can put him in the starting lineup, and he's
Mm-hmm.
got good playoff experience to the point where he can look. I understand that the Rockets have been bad,
Yeah.
but you see him trying to talk to the young guys
Yep.
and
Yep. He's
mention
professional. He's out there playing.
and,
Yeah.
and he'd be like, "Hey, look, yo, look, you see what you did there?
Yep.
I get why you did it, but here's a better thing. Instead of doing that, you should have done this." And you
Yep.
actually see him trying to teach guys,
Yep.
which is something, especially when you're a guy of his stature. For instance,
Mm-hmm.
that's why Giannis Haslam stayed in the league for as long as he did.
Yep.
When his play deteriorated, guess what? They played for his leadership and his presence on the bench.
Yep.
So I definitely do like that. The only problem with John Wall is that contract.
Yeah. That
That's
that's the only problem. That's the only
Yeah.
problem. And like you said, Eric Gordon is a good leader. Like I mean,
Yes.
he can come in and help the young guys out. That's in the playoff hunt. Like he'll be a good mentor to a guy like Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown,
Hmm.
Pritchard, all of those guys. He'll
Yes.
mean a lot to him because he has been there and he knows how to step up in big situations. And that's what
Yep.
you get in that locker room, a professional, a leader, and someone that can when your offense is stalling, when you need a bucket, he can definitely put points on the board when you definitely need something. And then also he's very physical on defense. He's very physical on
Yes.
defense, and he's 6'3", and he can pull it from deep too. He can shoot the hell out that rock and get to the ball, get to the basket relentlessly. But he's just not a great playmaker because I mean you're not going to be a great playmaker if you're a scorer. When you're a great scorer, you're not used to giving up the ball, but when you need a bucket, Eric Gordon definitely can come in and help out a playoff team.
Yeah, most definitely. So we're gonna move on to the NFL. But before we do the topic that I had, there were two
Okay.
questions that I saw that actually kind of made me think a little bit. The first one is from Rio. Can the Packers beat the Rams with Aaron Rodgers' foot injury? Now, I'm gonna let you have the first crack at this one.
Ooh, man, it's gonna be tough because the Rams off a 2 game losing streak. I think they off a 2 game losing streak. That's gonna be tough. And you got Aaron
Hmm.
Donald and Von Miller coming at Aaron Rodgers if he's not looking so good. I mean, I'm gonna pick the Rams to win this game. I mean, they need this game more than the Packers need this game. They need this game more than anybody because they're in the wild card spot. They're not winning the division. And you got
Yup.
some god teams that are getting hot in that wild card spot that has a chance to catch them. So there's a lot of pressure on Matthew Stafford in this offense and this defense to get it done. Get it done. So if you look at it, outside of Jalen Ramsey, the reason why his stats down, if you don't throw, if you he not getting no throws, he not getting no opportunities. And I don't blame him. I
Yeah.
don't blame him. So that's the reason why his numbers are down. When you have
Yeah.
people fearing you, when you have people fearing you to throw your way, your numbers gonna be down because he can't go get out there and guard everybody. He can't guard the
Right.
tight end. He can't guard the other guys. He can't guard the other guy's receiver. He's literally on that number one receiver. He's literally on that number one receiver every
Yeah.
single time. So again, of course you're gonna avoid going this way. And of course his numbers are gonna be down. So that means everybody else gotta step up. Everybody else gotta step up keep that from happening. So that like I say again, I think I got the Rams winning this game. So I think Aaron Rodgers is going to lose this week. I think the Rams are going to get him, but it wouldn't shock me if the Green Bay Packers just find a way to do it because I mean he's Aaron Rodgers. They got Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams. They always find a way. Um, and then you got a pretty competitive defense who shut out Seattle. Who, what I don't think Seattle is really good anyway. They're not really good anymore. Anyway, I think Russell Wilson. I think that his time is near. They may want to move on from.
Yup.
Offensive line ain't as good. They don't have a running game. So hey, DK Metcalf was frustrated. So again, I got the Packers winning. I got the Rams winning this game.
Yeah. Same. I got the Rams winning. I just think right now the Rams kind of need to start clicking on all cylinders. That by, if I'm not mistaken, they just had a bye week.
Yep.
It kind of is going to give them an opportunity to, to breathe, relax, decompress. I think now they're understanding. Look, we're not going to win the division. It is what it
Yep.
is. Let's focus on that wild card spot.
Yep.
And I think that's going to help them a little bit. And on top of that, obviously with the foot injury of Aaron Rodgers. By the way, I just want to throw it out there. If any other quarterback said, "Look at my injury," we're slaughtering him. But the fact that
Yep.
it's Aaron Rodgers, people are saying, "Oh, poor Aaron." So, but I will say with that, I think he's gonna get the. I think this is the game the Rams need to win,
Yep.
and I do think so. Another question: do you see the 49ers making the playoffs? Let me read you their schedule because
Okay.
so they play on Sunday. They play the Vikings.
I'm
That's
gonna get.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
That's a home game. Then
That
they go to
that's a home
Seattle to
game for
play.
Minnesota.
No, no, for the Niners. It's a home
Okay.
game for the
Okay.
Niners. It's a
Okay.
home game for the Niners. Then they go to Seattle to play the Seahawks.
I think they'll
Then
beat
they
them.
then they go to Cincinnati to play the Bengals.
Ooh,
At home against the Falcons. Away
they'll beat them.
at Tennessee to play the Titans. Then they're at home for the Texans. And then the last game of the season, they're at LA to play the Rams. Do you think they can
Oh,
make the playoffs?
that is tough.
Right?
Oh, that is real tough because you got to play the Rams because they in a wild card spot, so they're gonna man. You gonna be Houston. You gonna be my squad. You gonna beat
Yes.
them. You're gonna beat
I
the
think,
Falcons. You're gonna beat
yeah,
the
I was
Falcons.
about to say,
I
I
don't. Yeah.
think the games that are like I got penciled that they're winning is the Texans and
Yep.
the Falcons.
The
I think the
Falcons.
Seahawks is a maybe. I think
Maybe.
the
Yep.
Vikings is also a maybe.
Maybe. It's no guarantee because they at home they'll beat them either. So
Right,
again, you're
right.
looking at. You can also look at three losses on that schedule because again, the Rams they're in a wild card situation. So
Yup.
and then you got other teams that are getting hot. So they're gonna play their starters. You're looking at right now. You're playing their actual team. You're playing their actual team. So again, you don't play the Cardinals no more. So that's good. But you still play the Seahawks, who can be good at home when they're right, who
Exactly.
can be dangerous at home, and it's a
Exactly.
division robbery. So, uh, that's pretty tough. I think that
Yep.
they can make it happen. They can get hot, but I don't know about that. I don't know about that. If I had to guess, I would have to pencil. I would have to pencil them out on that schedule. I
hundred
don't think
percent.
they
I'm
would do
going
enough.
to, right. I'm gonna pencil them out, but but I will say this. Um, I do think that the fact that the reason I'm saying that's because they also need other teams to lose as well.
Yeah,
And
you do
when you
need
don't
help.
have full control of your destiny, I do think it's difficult. I'm not gonna say the Niners are fully out,
Yeah, we're
but
not saying that. Yeah, we definitely
yeah,
not
yeah,
saying
they
that.
have an
They have a
opportunity.
shot. They have opportunity.
They have an opportunity, but it's going to be tough for them. And then last
Yeah.
question: when did you become a Patriots fan and a Texans fan, and why, Coach? I'm gonna let you take it away,
I'm
man.
not a Patriots fan. I'm a diehard Texan fan.
No, I know, I
Uh,
know. This is for both of us.
oh,
So if
okay,
I'm a
okay,
Patriots
okay,
fan, you're the Texans fan, so they
okay,
want to know
okay.
why you're a Texans fan.
Because I live in Houston. I live in Houston all my life, and
Mm.
I used to be a Rams fan because that was when they took away the Oilers. Because they took away the Oilers, and the Oilers
Ah,
moved to Tennessee. The Oilers moved to
yes,
Tennessee.
yes,
That
yes, yes, yes.
yeah, that's the original Houston team that's in Tennessee. That's the original Houston
Yep.
Oilers right there in Tennessee. So then again, 2002 when the Texans came back, so I switched over to a Texan fan because I was an Oilers fan. I was a big Warren Moon fan. I used to watch highlights of Earl Campbell. Man, that guy was a big truck coming at you. He had some big old thighs and everything. He was hard to get down, man. I mean, like I said again, I was there watching when Texans didn't have no offensive line at all against Derek Carr. And Derek Carr was a pretty David Carr was a good quarterback. He just didn't have no damn offensive line. We just didn't have we had a he set an all-time rookie record of 82 sacks in one season.
Mm-hmm.
He was sacked 10 times against the Chargers in game number 2 after we beat the Dallas Cowboys on our first victory ever. And again, I've been through the Texans with the rough times, throughout the good times. And like I say again, you got to go through the rough times to get through the good to get through the great times. And it depends on how management do and how this organization do. And the Texans were able to recover
Yeah.
for the last 5 years before this year. They were same thing with the
Mm-hmm.
Rockets. Rockets used to go through the same tough times. Same through tough times. They got James Harden. They never had a losing season. They always went to the playoffs. Now we lose James Harden. We're down right now. But I mean, we got the future is bright in Houston. The best team in Houston is the Astros. The future is
Yep.
bright for Houston right now. Shangoon is coming along. He's an awesome center. He's an awesome center. And Jalen Green is going to be a monster. He's going to be a beast. His athleticism and Kevin Porter Jr. He's going to be so. We got a bright future, man. We got some nice little young pieces. So again, I live in
Mm-hmm.
Houston. And I've been watching Houston all my life. Keem Olajuwon when he was dominant, when he used to kill
Yep.
Shaq and David Robinson, when he used to kill all of them guys, and when he
Yep.
led won 2 straight championships.
Yes, I was about to
Without
say
one,
yes.
yeah, without no superstars. He didn't do that with no superstars. And with the time we got Clyde Drexler, he was out of his prime at that time, so he wasn't even a superstar at that. He wasn't even a stud player at that time. So
Right.
again, Keem Olajuwon was the only player to win 2 championships without one superstar.
Yes,
You're
sir.
not talking about Kobe. You're not talking about Shaq. You're not
Magic.
talking
Not
about
talking
Magic.
about
You're not talking about none of
MJ.
them guys. You have
Nope.
nothing but role players on that team, and he carried that
Yup.
Houston Rockets team and won straight championships. They
And you
came,
can
they
make
be
an argument that his second best player was a role player in Kenny the Jet Smith,
yes,
the
yes,
one that's on NBA
yeah,
NBA on TNT. You can
Yep.
make an argument that that was the second best player.
Because he had some big games. He had some big games in that
Yeah.
finals against Orlando. He hit the big. He hit a big shot to put us in overtime. Kim Olajuwon, like I say, he was Houston. I mean, he was that great. He was that dominant. He was that dominant of a player. And people don't talk about him that much. They talk
Yep.
about Shaq all the time, but he dominated Shaq every time he played him.
Right. Yes.
And one
To the
on,
point
I
that
mean,
Shaq said he
yes,
hated playing him.
yes,
Shaq
yes.
even
He
said
has so
that.
many moves. This guy didn't
Yep.
have. This guy didn't stick to one, not one move. Yes, every game he come with a different move. He come with a different move.
Different. And
Different
that's what
move.
made
You
him
just didn't know
special.
what was coming. You just didn't know what, it's like a punch in boxing. You don't know. You don't even see the punch. You don't even see the punch. You don't know what
Yes.
moves. You don't know what moves Kim Olajuwon is gonna bring out. So again, that's why I became a Houston fan. Because I born all my life in Houston. I just love Houston.
Yeah. For me, the first game I ever watched ever in my life was the New Orleans Saints versus the Indianapolis Colts in the Super Bowl. First game I ever saw. Right. Now
Hmm.
I heard about football and I played it, but in terms of sitting down and watching it, first game ever. I was like, you know what, this is fun. I was like, this is actually I like this. I like I like I just like watching football, right?
Yep.
And again, that was a Super Bowl. So afterwards, as things started going on, I used to hang out with one of my godbrothers. We used to call him Pierce,
Hmm.
and he had a Patriots snapback. You remember? Remember
Yeah.
we used to
Yeah.
talk about snapback way back in the
Yeah.
day,
I
fam.
remember that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. He had that shit. I was like, yo, that looks clean. I like it. I really do. 2009 is when they won the the Super Bowl. The next year, I went to his house because I was like, hey, I want to get into football. He goes, don't watch anything. I'm gonna put you on. I
Hmm.
said, okay, cool, whatever. I ended up going over his house week one of the 2010 season. Yeah, because it was literally right after week one of the 2010 season. First game I watched that man Tom Brady against the Cincinnati Bengals, and when I saw it, mind you, at the time I didn't understand the defense. As an okay, I only focused on offense, and just watching Tom Brady, this unathletic guy, this dude who doesn't care about running, none of that, just pick apart the defense.
Yeah.
I was like, this is my team. Now,
Yep.
mind you, at the time, I didn't know that the Patriots was a dynasty. I stumbled into that. I didn't know they were a dynasty. I just saw Tom Brady play, and I was like, I like it. Like I just like how he plays. Like there's no athleticism or nothing. It's like this dude. It's almost as if he knows the plays.
Yep.
You know, and that's what I liked about it. And as time went on, I just started watching more and more and more and more and more. And all of a sudden, it got to the point where I was like, not only is this my team, because like after that week one, I claimed him. I said, "Fuck." I was like, "What team is this?" He was like, "The Patriots." I'm a Patriots fan. I don't give a shit. I'm a Patriots fan. I was like, I don't care. He was like,
Yeah.
he's like, but you know nothing about them. I'm like, yo, how many games are in the season? He goes, at the time it was 16. He goes, 16. I was like, we can go 1-15. This is my team.
Yep.
I was like, I loved it all. I loved the logo, the jerseys. I loved it all. I loved it all. I then stumbled into a dynasty where like
Hmm.
turns out that year I think they went 14-2 that year.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, this is definitely my team. Like this is
Yep.
definitely my team. Like if I'm not mistaken, I think like at one I think they went what was it 5-0, I think. Something like that. 5-0,
Yep.
5-1, something like that.
I mean, I remember when
And I
Tom
was like,
Brady. I remember Tom Brady when he beat the Rams. When he beat the Rams, and the Rams was the greatest show on turf.
yes,
They was going to be. He stopped potential a dynasty. Don't you know
yes.
how hard it was to stop Marshall Falk, Torrey
Mm-hmm.
Holt, Isaac Bruce, and those guys? And the
For
Rams
sure.
and the Patriots did that.
Yeah,
And
and
every
that
big
kind of slow.
play
He's
you needed to
very
make,
slow.
yeah, every big play you needed to make, Tom Brady made it. No matter
Yes.
how if Vinatieri kicked the field goal, you
Mm-hmm.
don't get down there without Tom Brady
Yeah.
contribution. You don't
Yeah,
get down there. You don't get
and
down
that's
there.
one thing, and that's one thing I like watching him. I was like, yeah, I like it. And like I said, but then I realized it was a dynasty, so I was like, 100%, this is my team.
Yep.
I was like, ain't no way I'm gonna look at a dynasty, one that I liked before I even realized it was. Then all of
Yep.
a sudden they're successful. I was like, I'll be an idiot to turn away, you know. But yeah, ever since then I've been a New England Patriot fan. And Tom Brady left. It hurt, but I understood why he left because kind of same thing with LeBron. Look, they're not giving you anything. They're not giving you anything. So like, what do you expect him to
Hmm.
do? You know what I mean? Like, if you're not giving the guy the help he wants, he's gonna dip. So, but yeah, that's our stories on why we like the teams we like. Well, let's keep it with the NFL. This morning, you and I, we were on the morning show,
Yeah.
and this question was posed, and I want to get into it a little more. The Saints have been horrible at Trevor Simeon, horrible, horrible. And now the question has been posed: and if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Grittian who asked this question too.
Hmm.
Is it time to go to Taysom Hill? By the way, Grittian's story in terms of I became a 49ers fan in 2019, and it was in November. And at that time, it was the very first time I was watching football. And when I saw the 49ers that year, I was like, these people are cold as fuck.
Yeah.
Bro, I mean, look, 29, I ain't gonna hold you. 2019 was a great year for y'all. But coach, is
Yep.
it time to give the starting coach job to Taysom Hill for at least a week or two?
I mean, you could. That's what you paid him. You paid him. You paid him. Gave him money, probably to be a quarterback or to be another position, uh, receiver or whatever. Because this man is an athlete. That shows how good an athlete this man is. When you can play anything on the offensive side of the ball, where you can play a tight end, fullback. That proves how athletic he is and how big he is. But other than that, I mean, I think you should give it a shot because last year you only lost one game with Taysom Hill. You lost literally just one game with Taysom Hill. With Teddy Bridgewater out, water out, you lost one game with this guy. So again, what doesn't hurt? What doesn't hurt anyway? The guy can do more things than Trevor Simeon. He might can't throw as better as he could, but him being an extra body in that quarterback position, him being able to make plays with his legs and stuff like that, and him being an athlete and hard to bring down, that opens up the playbook more for more things you can do, for more things,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, wildcat formations, motion formations, and stuff like that. Get him out in space, handoffs and stuff like that. Zone read, that's his type of style of ball. So you paid the man money, so you might well just give it a shot. I mean, they're falling flat on their face since Trevor Simeon has been playing, has been
Yeah,
playing with for this team. And Jameis Winston career was reviving with Sean Payton. You're gonna lose
yeah,
Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas doesn't want to be there no more. He doesn't want to be there no more. So you're gonna lose him. He's gonna be somewhere else probably next year. So
yep,
if you want to keep your playoff hopes alive, why not just give Taysom Hill a chance to go out there and see what he can do. See can he get y'all right back in the playoffs? I mean, Trevor Simeon is not going to get it done.
no,
He's a bad quarterback. He's a bad quarterback. He's not it. And it's a reason why he didn't really have a job till the end because again he just doesn't get it. He's just not going to get it done. He didn't get it done in Denver. He didn't get it done in Minnesota. So again, why what's going to hurt? What's going to hurt more if you put Taysom Hill in there? The best thing you can do. He can do more things. He may can keep you alive. He may can get you that win against the Dallas Cowboys if you decide to put him out there. So
right,
again, hey, Dallas Cowboys are struggling. Why not? That would be a good time. Get them some
right.
practice reps in. Get them some of them practice reps in, and maybe you can see something different. But right now, Trevor Simeon is not getting the job done, and I think you should consider putting Taysom Hill in starting.
Yeah. Just to finish up Gritty and Yuki's like story on why they are a Niners fan. I love their offense and defense at the time, even though we're looking a little questionable right now. Still love,
Mm-hmm.
but still, I love the city, love the logos, the colors, and the jersey. I love the team, and I'm gonna be loyal to my team until the day I rest in peace. A lot of people usually be bailing.
Yep.
That's why I give Jets fans a lot of credit. They've been horrible, but they
Yeah.
still ride with their team.
Yep.
So I think that's great. And here's a question: Michael Thomas to the Ravens.
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yep.
I think this is the best place for him to go because
Yep.
his one of his best routes is the slant. Lamar Jackson with that slant route. just really throwing quick, and that's not really reading anything. That's just kind of like an instinct throw. I think they could thrive there. I
Yeah,
would like that. But
yeah, I would love that.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I would love that. And what we were talking about this morning, it's not like Lamar Jackson is not a bad quarterback. He's just a better athlete. He's just a better athlete than all. He's just the type of person that you can put him at a running back situation and he can be good. He can be good at that situation. He's just that athletic. It's not a knock on him. Like I said again, I think Josh Allen is better. I think Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback. Is a better quarterback when he's playing. I think Deshaun Watson is top four in the National Football League when he's out there on the field. I mean, look how many games, this big games, this guy won. And many people don't get to the AFC Championship in their second year. Second year, Josh Allen did it. Deshaun Watson did it. He beat Josh Allen in an epic playoff game. And the next
Yup,
year, Josh Allen was in the AFC Championship game. So again, Deshaun Watson didn't actually have a running game. He didn't actually have a running game. He actually was the carrier of the Texans team, and
yep,
Josh Allen was pretty much the Bills. When you throw so much, when you're always used to throw so much, the defense supposed to get easy for the defense to stop you. When you're not showing any type of consistency with the running game at all, and you're trying to put it all on Josh Allen, he's gonna make some mistakes. He's gonna make some poor throws. He's gonna play bad because that's the defensive game plan is gaining for Josh Allen. They know they're gonna up and throw, so that's why it's important, like you said, to get Matt Breida and all these guys some touches to what put some of that wear and tear and that stress off Josh Allen's arm. So again,
yep.
like we were saying this morning, you put him in that Chargers offense where you know you have better receivers, and we have better receivers and a tight end and two good running backs. You put him in that situation, that team can be a dynasty. That team can dominate in the AFC.
Oh yeah, 100%. Real quick, Gradient, before I put up your comment, because it's actually a good question that a lot of people really haven't been answering
Mm-hmm.
yet. But I will say this: I think it is time to give Taysom Hill an opportunity. I mean, again,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Be worse? I mean, you got to try something because again, I mean,
You gotta
let's be
try. You
honest.
gotta
No,
give a spark.
yeah,
Yeah.
because look, here's the thing: people forget when Jameis Winston was there, this team was 5-2.
Yep.
And when he went down, he had 14 touchdowns. Do you know how many interceptions he threw?
About two, I believe.
Three.
Three. Okay. Yeah. I believe it was right up and down. Right up and down. Yeah.
Only three picks. He was on pace to throw. I think last time I saw it, he was on pace to throw. I think it was like 10 or between 10 and 12,
Yeah.
which would have been no. It was 10. He was projected to throw about 10 picks. If it was that if he had reached that projection, that would have been the fewest interceptions he would have thrown since 2017. In 2017, he threw 11. And then after that, in terms of his career, the next lowest after 11 is 14. Then the next lowest after
Yep.
that is 15. Then after that, 18. And then we all know that one year he threw 30 and 30. So when I'm looking at it, it's like they were clicking, they were doing their thing. So I mean, this is a solid team. I think honestly, I'll be honest with you. I understood why they didn't want to start Taysom Hill because he brings a lot extra to
Mm-hmm.
the game. I mean, you don't want to ruin it. I get it, but there's no way I'm in any way, shape, or form I'm throwing Trevor Simeon out there. There's just no
Yeah.
way I'm throwing
No, I
Trevor
can't. I
Simeon.
can't do it.
I'd rather
You gotta
Sean
light a
Payton suit
spark.
up. Yes, I'd rather Sean Payton suit up.
Yep.
Throw him out there, bro.
Yep.
Like, like,
You
it,
gotta
like,
light. You gotta, like I say again, you gotta light a spark. You gotta light a spark.
yes,
You gotta make a change. You gotta put a light a spark again. Say, I mean, he's not getting it done out there. He's not getting it done out the field. What's the worst that can hurt you? I mean,
right,
what's the worst that can hurt you? The defense is good. The defense is very good. But the problem is you can't score. You can't put points on the board. So and it's not getting it done with Trevor Simeon. So, like you said, what's the worst that can hurt you? By
right.
putting Taysom Hill out there, you paid him. Might as well.
Yeah. They paid him all right, so you might as well see what you can get for him.
Yep.
Um, but Grittian said, "Do you think the Saints will let Cam Jordan, Marshawn Lattimore, and Demario Davis go if the Saints end up in rebuilding mode?" I think so, and I'll be honest. I
Yeah.
think you can still get some picks for these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely do.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
I think you'll still be able to get
Yep.
a pretty decent haul for each of these guys because, again, Marshawn, I
Yep.
understand he just got cooked by Stephon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a horrible time to say it. This is a horrible time to
Oh
say
my
it.
goodness.
But he
Yeah.
is still a hell of a corner. He still is
Yeah, he's still a hell
is
of
a
a
great
corner
corner.
though.
Yeah, I think he's still a great corner. I think Cam Jordan and Demario Davis, I think they still have stuff. They have some left in the tank. So, but I think it's going to be a situation where they go to a playoff team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of what
I
J.J.
mean,
Watt
like I
did.
say
You know,
again,
when the Texas traded with the
yo,
Cardinals.
if you're gonna
I think they'll be
rebuild,
like this.
if you're gonna rebuild, you might want to tell the whole team now, tell the whole organization now. That's part of being rebuilding. That's a part of rebuilding. Getting rid of
Mm-hmm.
them, like Pride said. You might want to just switch the whole organization with new faces. You if you want to get rid of Sean Payton, do that.
You're gonna
Start
have to.
fresh. That's what part of rebuilding. That's what part of rebuilding is, and rebuilding. Start fresh. Fire
Yeah.
everybody. Fire everybody, and just get you a new head coach, GM, and start from the ground up. That's what part of rebuilding is.
Greeny Yuki with another question. Do you think Jeff Okota, Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones Jr., and Matthew Stafford were missed in Detroit? I'm gonna tell you this right now. When it comes to this one, I just think they just weren't. It just wasn't destined to
Yeah,
be. That's
yeah.
just kind of how I look at it. I just think they it was on paper it was gonna work out, but
Mm-hmm.
outside of them, there were way too many holes. It wasn't a situation
Yep.
where they were a solid team all around, and people could just be like, "Oh yeah, they're okay." No, they had so many holes to the point where it kind of was just like, "Nah, bro, like it won't matter." Jeff, he was a great corner. I liked him, I really
Yep.
did. But the problem was outside of him, like
Yep.
they really kind of, they were kind of they were kind of screwed. And Marvin Jones and Kenny Galladay offensively, I did like that one too. I did.
Yep.
Problem was Kenny Galladay sometimes wouldn't be available. And if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken, I think Marvin Jones also had that issue as well,
Yep.
where
Yep.
in terms of his stuff, he kind of was just And I
Mm-hmm.
liked him on paper. It should have worked,
It
but the
should have worked
problem
on paper.
is
That was a solid team on paper.
it was. But the problem was they still
Yep.
had a dog shit line. The line still
Yep.
wasn't outside of Jeff Okota, they didn't have anybody. So it kind of was basically
Yep.
kind of what they're doing with the Rams now. Jalen Ramsey is number one. Don't throw at him. It is what it is. Let's go. Let's
Yep.
let's expose
It
him
is
to
what it
number
is.
two.
We gonna go to somewhere else. Yep.
And that's what they
Outside
did
of
with
him.
that
Yep.
in Detroit. So
I mean,
it,
the
it, it was
Detroit
that.
Lions. They have the Detroit Lions. They have a whole bunch of holes to fill. They have everything. They
Yes.
have a whole bunch of holes to fill. It's not just the receivers. You may need to get you, and nothing is ruled out when you get into this draft with the Detroit Lions. You may need another receiver. You may need another cornerback. You may need some offensive line help. You may need everything. Everything on every side of the ball you may need to address in the offseason in the draft. That's how bad the Lions organization is right now. Maybe do you get rid of Dan Campbell? And I like Dan Campbell. I think with a nice decent organization, Dan Campbell can be an excellent head coach. I think he can be a
Yes.
good head coach. You put him in the right
Yes.
situation. I just don't think this Lions situation is the best for Dan Campbell. I don't know if he's being set up to fail. I don't know, but this is not a good team. This is a very bad team, and I just feel like that Bears was the only shot they have a chance of winning the football game this year. That the way they lost that game, that's the way that's the only I only feel that's the only time they had a good chance of winning a football game
I'm
was
still
against the
cheering.
yeah.
I'm still cheering for him. Regardless, I'm
Yep.
cheering for him. Hopefully, I'll be there. And once they win the game, I'm just gonna say, okay, whatever. I don't care. Like I'm never gonna pick up again. Um,
Yep.
but we're gonna keep it with football. Ooh, do you think the Ford family should sell the team?
Ooh.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest, and maybe this is gonna sound crazy. If they sell it, if they sell it, right before they do one last sign of good faith. Fire everyone.
Yep.
Come off
Yep.
season, fire everyone,
Yep.
and as soon as you fire everyone, or sell the team, and right before you sign the contract, like warn
Mm-hmm.
whoever's gonna buy it, hey, listen, we're gonna clean house. We want to do one last
Yep.
sign of good faith. Go find a head coach, a GM. Go find a.
Go
You're
find
gonna have to
GM.
find
Everybody.
everything.
Yeah.
You're going to have to probably find everything new. And then the
Yep.
last sign of good faith, fire everyone. I do believe the
Yep.
Ford family should sell this team because the
Yep.
problem is they don't know football. And the reason I'm saying that's a problem is there's a lot of owners who don't know football. But the difference
Yep.
between the Ford family and them, they go and find people who know football. They
Mm-hmm.
find people, they listen to them, and while they're listening, they try to learn. The Ford family does not show any way, any effort, any
Yeah.
any urge to learn. They don't show that at all. And look, if you've been around an organization for a while, and I ask you quick, who's your starting center, and you give me the you're screwed. Now I'm not saying you gotta
Yeah.
make
You don't
every
know for
single
yeah.
every,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I mean? I ain't saying you gotta make every decision, but if you're not
Yep.
learning, it's like eventually you're gonna have to move on. And coach, I think at this point, 100%, the Ford family should definitely sell this team.
Yeah, I mean, just like I say, give a fresh start. Just blow it all up.
Yep.
If he sells the team, just blow it all up. Get you a whole new environment, whole new coaching staff, GM. I mean, like I say, Lewis Riddick is one of the candidates out there that everybody will
Yeah,
aim for. And I think Lewis Riddick, I think he knows a lot. He knows football. He knows
he'll be
football.
the
To me, Lewis
perfect
Riddick
GM,
is
man.
perfect GM for anybody to go get.
Perfect.
So he's out there. He's out there. I mean, it's a lot of GMs out there that you can go get. I think Charlie Casserly is out there. I don't like him as a GM because he was a Texans GM, and I didn't too much feel him. But I mean, but I say it's how guys want to however they want to value. But again, Lewis Riddick will be a perfect GM. Be a perfect GM.
Yeah,
Lewis Riddick will be a
100%.
definitely a
And if
perfect
I'm
GM.
not mistaken, coach, he's been involved in that in terms of rumors. He's been
Yeah.
involved in that organization for a while. And
Yep.
originally, it was for him to be the head coach a couple years ago.
Yep.
And then after when those died down, that's when people started saying for him. So it's like at some point, if people keep saying this is what you should do, if everyone, football professionals, like podcasters,
Yep.
analysts, if everyone is saying it, there's got to be something there.
Yep.
And it's not like he's an idiot. Like Louis, he knows football.
He knows football. Yeah.
He knows
He
football.
he analyzes football. He looks at
Yes,
film on players. He's a good scout. He's a good scout. I believe. I'll say immediately this offseason, teams are going to be looking for a GM, and he's going to get a call. Lewis Riddick is going to get a call. He's
he
going to get a
better
call.
get a call.
Yes.
110%. He better get a call. Let's keep it with football because the college football, this is a wild week. Right now,
Yeah.
I don't even have a team, but my Cincinnati Bearcats. My
Yep.
Cincinnati Bearcats. They're playing bro, because I don't know where all this disrespect for Cincy's coming from, but
Yep.
they're playing the East. They're playing East Carolina. Right now, there's about 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They're
Yep.
up 28-13. Another game that's going on: Colorado and Utah. Utah
Yep.
is winning 28-13. But there's one game in specific I want to talk to you about. You already know
Okay.
because
Yep.
this is a game that a lot of stuff. The Chick-fil-A Bearcats. I'm calling them that.
Yep.
From this point on, it's no longer Cincinnati. It's Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A Bearcat. I
So
love it.
when we did the show earlier, I zoomed in and
Yep.
I was like, "Yo, that is the Chick-fil-A." 100%. Shout out to Gritty and Yuki for finding that, for actually saying that. Like, I zoomed in. I was like, "This is NCIS." I'm like zooming in, enhance image, and I saw it, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh my god!" Like that had me weak. But number 2, Ohio State is going to go to
Mm.
Michigan to play the Michigan Wolverines. I said this morning, and I'm sticking by what I said. I genuinely believe the loser of this game, in terms of the college playoffs, they're out.
They're yeah.
I
They're
genuinely
out.
believe that.
No, regardless.
I think they're gonna have to go out. They're gonna have to be out because if we got
Yep.
Michigan State out because of that loss to Ohio,
Yep.
consistency is gonna need to be kept. So
Yep.
Ohio versus Michigan. You did say something earlier about John Harbaugh, low key being on the
Yep.
hot seat. Um, explain. I want you to give me your opinion on all the ramifications that can come for this game if either team loses.
Well, first of all, if the loser of this game is definitely out, they're definitely out. The loser of this game definitely out. The winner of this game has one more mission, and that's the Big Ten championship game. You win that game, I think the winner of this the Pac-12 championship, Pac-10 championship, Big Ten, goes to the playoff. So regardless, if Michigan win, they can win the Big Ten title. They goes to the playoff. Same thing with Ohio State. They win, they get to the Big Ten championship. They go to the playoff. But John Harbaugh was bought in for one thing, and that's to beat Ohio State. He had one good season where it was a close game, and you can argue it was a bad call game in Columbus
Mm-hmm.
that year. But outside of that, Michigan has not been competitive against Ohio State
Yep.
because that's due onto the offensive side of the ball. Ohio State is so much better on the offensive side of the ball. Now, Michigan defense is competitive. They always get good cornerbacks. They always going to get a good. They always are going to get a good running back, a running game. They're going to have subpar receivers, but the one thing Michigan can never get right is the quarterback position. They could never get the quarterback position right, and that's one
Mm-hmm.
thing about Harbaugh right there. They're going to always have skilled players on each and every side of the ball, but you can't get the quarterback position right. So right now, you should consider firing Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
Consider not saying he will be on the hot seat, but he should
Mm-hmm.
low key be consider getting fired just because the one thing that has hold you back is beating Ohio State, and you have not been able to get the job done. That is one thing
Yep.
that you was brought here to do was beat Ohio State.
Yep. Yep. And that's a big thing because we
Yep,
said it earlier this morning. Um, when he signed his contract, the first thing was beat Ohio State. Then the second
yep,
thing was you make the college football playoffs.
yep. Make the
Right.
which is he haven't done not done yet. Yep,
Right. So it's like, and again, I said this earlier. Michigan has this weird thing. Them and Ohio State, they're destined to dance forever and ever and ever. And they just every single time it comes to deciding the fate of the playoffs, they for some reason always meet. They're kind of destined to do this. Um, Now, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm coach. If word around the trees is I don't know college football. That's the word going around. So I just want to make sure for the college football playoffs there are 4 teams, correct? Correct. All right, I just want to make sure. And then if I'm not mistaken, I
yep.
think they play in the Cotton Bowl, which was the other
They
one.
play in the Cotton Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, Rose Bowl,
No, no, no. There's
and what
for the actual college
New Year's
playoffs.
Six.
Oh no, no,
Oh, you talking about what a location?
no, no, no. Hold on, hold on. Let me look it up. Let me look it up because the thing is, for this year, usually two of the bowl games are for the college football playoffs. I'm talking about
You must
Texas.
be talking about
You
the
know what I mean?
Orange Bowl, the Orange Bowl. I know the
Yes,
Orange
yes,
Bowl
Orange
always,
Bowl.
yeah, host one of them.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. It's the Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl. Um, though
yeah,
that's like the semifinals they play, and then it's the big game, like the national championship game, right? So right
Which
now, let me
which
pull
is
up
the
the.
national championship game? It's the Rose Bowl. It's the Rose
I
Bowl.
believe
The
so.
national
Yes, I
championship game
believe
is
it's the Rose Bowl.
basically always the Rose Bowl. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So right now, um, here's the $1 million question, right? And by the way, let's actually piggyback on your thing because you said John Harbaugh. It's John, right, or Jim? Which one is it? College? Is
I,
that Jim?
I think it's Jim. It may be Jim. I think it may be Jim.
Maybe okay.
I think it
But
may. Yeah, it's Jim. It's Jim.
but here's the question: if he gets fired, do you think he should return to the NFL?
Yes, I think he's gonna get calls. I think he's gonna get calls for the NFL, and he should better consider because it proves out that he's a better NFL head coach than
Oh,
basically a
without even
college coach. Not saying, not even saying he's not a great college coach. He just can't beat Ohio State. He just can't get the
no,
job
and
done
and
and
and the
win
problem
them big
is,
games.
yeah, and here's the problem:
Yeah.
if he goes anywhere else, he's never gonna get the respect he feels like he deserves. Because if he goes to, let's say he goes to, I don't know, let's say he goes to Georgia, right? Let's say for some reason Nick Saban goes mental, quits, and he goes to Alabama, right? Alabama doesn't have to go through Ohio State. If we're gonna be honest, like I mean, if they could beat them, cool. But Cincinnati doesn't have to go through Ohio State. Me, Georgia, Bama, they don't have to go through him like that. So
Yep.
if you do that, it's almost as if, oh, you're scared of Ohio State. Like
Hmm.
that, for a guy as prideful as him, no pun intended, that would bother him. That would keep
Yep.
him up because it's like I would rather just leave completely, go to the NFL where I have had success. I brought a team to the
Hmm.
Super Bowl. I've had some success, so I feel like it really would work out for him. I will say this: Ohio, I got Ohio State. I do. I got Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a
I got
big game.
Ohio State.
Yes,
I
I think
think
it's
it's
going to
going
be
to
a
be a close game. I think it's going to be a close
yes.
game actually. But it won't be surprised if it be same way be's a blowout. But I expect it to be competitive this year. I expect it at least be competitive. But that's the one thing in Jim Harbaugh's way that they brought him in for is to beat Ohio State and make it to the college football playoff, which is he failed to do miserable. To me, this is probably his best shot right here to make the college football playoff and to beat
Yes,
Ohio State. If he
and
doesn't get
and
it done, he should be considered on the hot seat.
and
You just gotta be considered.
I'm gonna be honest with you. He has self awareness. So I genuinely believe if he can't beat him, I can imagine it and seeing him saying, "I can't do this no more. It's not working out. I quit." I can imagine him stepping down because it's again, this is your shot. This is your opportunity. Kind of like the Clippers a couple years ago, right? To win the title. It was their year. This was the best chance they were going to get.
Yep.
This is Jim Harbaugh's legitimate, no pun intended, his last dance. Because after this,
Yep.
it's not even going to be a competition anymore. Green Eagles,
Yep.
I'm going to say it, screw it, and have Michigan Wolverines winning. Again, I don't think that's crazy.
I,
I think it's going to
I
be
don't think
close.
it's crazy either.
And you know what I think is going to come down to? Who's going to play the more disciplined football?
Yep.
I genuinely believe that right there is what's going to swing the pendulum. Either it goes to
Yep.
Ohio State or
See
Michigan.
this question right here, firing Jim Harbaugh should be in consideration. But this is a question I want to ask you myself, and it's got dealing with the NFL. Same thing about Urban Meyer. About
Mm,
do you see him going back to college after this season if it doesn't work out? Opposing if they don't win another game, or they probably win one more, which I think that will be 4 wins, just 4 wins. Do you consider him really going back to college
yes.
after
I
this year, after whatever? Yeah.
yes. And the reason I say yes, right? If you really look at it, um, Urban Meyer had great success in college. Like he was successful, and when he came to the NFL, we got to remember. He went from Ohio. If I'm missing, it was Ohio State, right? I believe Urban Meyer left Ohio State to
Yeah, he left Ohio State. Yep.
So he left Ohio State to go to the NFL, right? Now, here's the part people forget to understand. Ohio State was not only one of the best programs, but they're one of the best ran programs. He went from a program with organization, with structure, with credibility, to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who was literally burning everything down. So him going to that, I understood why, because again, they're gonna go there. It is what it is. But my only problem was when he got there, he had no structure, nobody hold him accountable, and that's when we kind of saw him. Look, we've been hearing rumors about Urban Meyer being childish when he was in Ohio State.
And
we've been hearing those rumors.
We also heard against Jacksonville. Too. He's been yelling at the coaches and all of that. Yes. Yeah, we also heard that at Jacksonville. Same thing.
Right. So it's like if he got all this, it almost seems like he's a coach who can talk to the players, but needs somebody watching over him as well. You don't have that in Jacksonville.
Yep.
And if he goes back to college, I can imagine Ohio State taking him back. If let's say they lose to Michigan, I can see them taking him back. I can see him going to other places. The only place I don't see him going to, I can see him. Didn't Florida fire their head coach before the Gators?
Yep. I was about to put that out there. I can see him going back to Florida.
I can see him sneaking his way back over there. I can see that. Because it's still in Florida. I can see him sneaking his way back over there to try to bring, some dignity to that program. You know what I mean? Like, I could see that coming. There are options, legitimate options for Urban Meyer on the college level that he simply does not have on the NFL level. The Jacksonville Jaguars
and you gotta look at everything too as well. The NFL is much more tougher. It's hard to get guys to come play when you're not winning games. When you're not winning games, it's hard to get free agency to buy in to come play for you. Where you can just, instead of in college, you can just pick your own people. You can just just recruit the guys that you want out there. It's not like that in the NFL. And I think, like I said, I was just about to say, hey, that wouldn't be a bad option. Him going back to Florida because they just fired their coach, and Florida need a lot of help, man. And think about it, Urban Meyer can recruit. So he can have guys coming recruits coming to Florida. He can have kids, students coming to Florida.
Because Florida is still a big name school now. So it's not like he's working from the bottom like that. That's something that people still know. Real quick, Gideon, do you think Dan Quinn can rebuild the Legion of Boom in Dallas? No, I don't think so. Because I'll be honest, I don't think coaching built that Legion of Boom. I think it was just I think it was like what, 4 guys. Because it was Richard Sherman, it was Bobby Wagner, it was Cam
Earl
Chancellor.
Thomas.
I guess you could throw in what's homeboy's name? I'm forgetting him.
It was Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas as well.
Earl Thomas, yes. You could throw in Earl Thomas. My thing is Dallas don't have those players. And I don't think it was the coaching that made them the Legion of Boom. I just think they were good players who knew their role, did their role perfectly, and then it ended up being phenomenal. You know what I mean? So if they can find the players, sure. But in terms of Dan Quinn building it, I don't think so. But yeah, Urban Meyer, I think right now, if he's gonna go back to college, I'm looking at Ohio State, see if they'll take me back. But if they don't, it's not the end all be all, because 100%, I can see Florida hitting him up and saying, "Hey, look, man, how you feel about this?" You know what I mean? One more question from Gritty and Yuki. Do you see the Jaguars potentially moving to London? No. But I do see the NFL putting a team in London. On Wednesday, on Wednesday, I made this a topic. And the 3 teams I was hoping was London. And the reason for London was, bro, you already got them selling out to see the Dolphins and the Jaguars. If you got them selling out to see them, you give them their own team. London has been doing their thing. If you want to relocate the Jags over there, fine. Give them a team. Give them something. I also said Toronto. Because if we have an NBA team there, I believe an NFL team there would thrive. A lot of Buffalo's fan
Yep.
base comes from Canada. A lot of them comes from
Yep.
Canada. Now, I think the CFL and the NFL have a deal where they kind of leave each other alone. So, but another place I said was Hawaii, because Hawaii and Alaska,
Oh, okay.
bro, Hawaii and Alaska are in this weird spot where they're kind of by themselves. Like they're by
Yeah.
themselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like Hawaii, you gotta fly out here to see something. Let's give them a stadium. They've done the Pro Bowl in Hawaii before, and it was a success. They've done stuff in Hawaii where it was a success. So me personally, I think we should reward them. I think it's unfair because since Hawaii is like an island. What about NFL team in Mexico? I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind
I
that
wouldn't
at all.
mind. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't
Because
mind
the
at
thing
all.
is, they're adding 8 more teams because they want to expand to 40. So if you put
Yep.
a team in Hawaii, put a team in Mexico, go put a team in London. So that's 3.
Yep.
Now the other 5, split them up between big states if you want. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Idaho doesn't have a football team. Get something to them. You know what I mean? I think we should kind of try to split it up a little bit. You know what I mean? But yeah, an NFL team in Mexico doesn't faze me at all. But
Nope.
Coach, before I let you go, there's another game that I'm kind of looking forward to a little bit.
Okay.
Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And for Oklahoma State, 10-1, and Oklahoma 10-1. This to
Yep.
me is a situation where if Oklahoma wins, and I
Yep.
understand they have that L against, I think it was Baylor, right? Yeah, I think it was Baylor
Baylor.
that
Yeah.
they lost to.
That was Baylor.
Even though they have that loss, let me ask you something. With this win over Oklahoma State, would you then catapult Oklahoma over Baylor if they beat Oklahoma State? Because Baylor, I'm let me run it by you. At 7 is Oklahoma State, at 8 is Baylor, then 9 is Ole Miss, and at 10 is where Oklahoma is. So
Yeah.
if Oklahoma wins, do you think they should go up to number 7?
No, I don't think. Oh, I think Baylor should stay at number 8 because they beat Oklahoma. They beat Oklahoma, and they got Texas Tech. It's a good chance they'll beat Texas Tech. They'll blow out Texas Tech. Texas Tech is not even that good this year, but it's a chance they'll beat them badly. So again, if Baylor wins and Oklahoma somehow wins, it will be tough against number 7 Oklahoma State. I
Oh
think
yeah.
Baylor should stay over because they got the tiebreaker. They beat them head to head, and
So
I just don't. I'm just not giving Oklahoma that. Oklahoma over Baylor.
so let's say Oklahoma beats Oklahoma State and Baylor beats Texas
Mm-hmm.
Tech, right? Would it be
Okay.
fair to put Baylor at 7, so move them up 1, move Oklahoma up 3 spots to 8th, then Oklahoma State bring them down to 10? Would that be fair?
If Oklahoma State win,
No, I'm talking about if Oklahoma wins. If
okay.
Oklahoma wins, is it fair to put them in at 8, move Baylor up
Mm-hmm.
1 spot to 7, and then drop Oklahoma State down to 10? If Baylor wins and Oklahoma
I think it would be fair to move Baylor up a little more notch. I think it'll be fair to move Baylor to at least number 7,
wins,
where Oklahoma State at if they lose, I think that would be a fair and move Oklahoma State down because they lost. They got that second loss now. So
right?
yeah, you just move them down.
Okay.
You just move them
So
down.
just
You move them down, but you don't move them no further. You don't move them no further than 12, 13, something
I put
like
them at
that. You got to
10.
feel it at 10. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, because
If you
what I would do
yeah.
if Oklahoma State loses to Oklahoma, I would have them take the Sooners' place at 10. I would
Yep.
grab Oklahoma, put them in at 8 where Baylor is now, and then because
Yep.
that
And
head to head,
Bella
I
move
would
up to
bring
7.
Baylor
Bella
to
move
7.
up.
So that way,
Yep.
you know what I
Bella
mean?
move
That
up.
way it'll make it'll make some type of sense. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Let me
Yep.
ask you one more question. Um, and do you have any upsets? Oh, by the way, before I forget, we had a couple games wrap up. Um, Boise State lost to number
Okay.
22 ranked San Diego State, 27 to
Okay.
16. Iowa beat Nebraska 28 to 21. Cincy ended up getting the win over East Carolina
Yep.
35 to 13.
That was the conference
Arkansas
championship
beat
game right there. Yep.
yes. Arkansas beat Missouri 34 to 17. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Utah beat Colorado 28 to 13. And right now, the final college game of the day, UNC versus North Carolina State. Um, it's
Mm-hmm.
There are about 10 minutes left in the first quarter, and North Carolina State is up 7-0 with the ball. I'm looking at some of these games, and
Yep.
look, there's one game because I want to ask you about your upsets. One game you told me, I was like, what did he say? But for those of you who don't know, Coach Dante has been on a roll in terms of picking his upsets. It is 3 weeks in a row. So at first I looked at you like, what did you say? But with how you've been, I low key am gonna hear you out. I think you know what game I'm referring to. But please give us your upsets.
I can give you that game. I can give you the game. And I know you're saying this could be a kind of mismatch, which is it could be. It could be. It happens like that. But the way they play, the way they've been playing football, they have not been really playing good football. But they somehow able to survive these games. They struggled against LSU. They struggled against Arkansas. They did lose to A&M. And this is the Iron Ball. Auburn, they struggled a lot this season. They're at home. I think they're gonna have extra motivation, and I think they're gonna come out. They're not gonna lay down to Alabama. They're not gonna lay down to Alabama at all. Uh, I got Auburn upsetting number 3 Alabama to kick Alabama up out of the college football playoff. Now, yeah, I know everybody gonna look at me. Oh, Coach Dante, you crazy? Anything is possible because again, conference rivalry. They know each other, and again, it could happen. I seen it happen. Utah beat the hell out of Oregon, and I picked that game. They beat the hell out of Oregon. Oklahoma lost to Baylor. I said Oklahoma will lose to Baylor because Oklahoma has not played well against anybody in the Big 12. Spencer Rattler is not should be nowhere near a first round pick. He shouldn't be
And he's been
nowhere near a first
projected.
round pick. He's projected. That's how bad this draft will be. He's
Yes.
projected. How can a bench player that's been on the bench all year be a first round pick? That's something that doesn't sit right with me. So I got Auburn over Bama. I got Auburn over Bama this
You better be
weekend.
right. Look, Griddian, I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Hey,
When he first said this, I was not on board. However, 3 weeks in a row calling upsets, you I need to listen to the man. And by the way, Rattler going to Detroit, I genuinely believe so.
oh boy.
I think they're gonna reach, and if they don't reach, I could see the Broncos reaching too. 100%. I
Yep.
could see those two guys reaching because
Yep.
it's looking bad. Do you got any more upsets for me?
Yep. I got one. I got another upset. I got number 14 Wisconsin losing to Minnesota, 7-4. Minnesota at home. Minnesota is at home, and that stuff. That's the two upsets of the week I got. And like I say, regardless if I lose them, hey, it is what it is. I mean, college football, college upsets happen every single day, regardless. Happens every single time. So again, I'm hot. I've been hot for 3 weeks. I'm trying to keep this on a pace. I might be off on one of these games, but hey, it's just fun picking upsets, picking upset picks.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Just the fact that you've been on 3 weeks, I'm telling you, I'm gonna need them lotto numbers, my guy, because I'm convinced
Yeah.
you're from the future. I'm convinced you're from the future. Yo, Coach Dante. Ooh, don't be surprised if the Giants, Raiders, Washington, and Jets reach. I'm gonna tell you this right now. The only teams who should draft a quarterback are teams that already have a quarterback that they're comfortable with for the foreseeable future, and you're willing
Yep.
to wait and give the quarterback time to develop. None of these
Yep.
quarterbacks are ready. None of them.
Yep.
Not one of them is ready. If you, this is
Yep.
basically just a draft full of Trey Lances. Trey Lance is not ready. I don't care what
Yep.
anybody says. These guys are not ready. If you, the only people who should draft them are the guys or the teams who have the time to wait, the time to let them learn behind the guy, whether it be the Rams and learning behind Matthew Stafford, going to the Buccaneers, learning behind Tom Brady, going to,
Yep.
if somehow he stays Seattle and learn behind Russell Wilson. That's the only way. Other than that, you should not be reaching.
Yep.
So, Coach Dante, let the good people hear where they can find you, my guy.
Y'all can find me at Coach Dante on YouTube. Y'all can find me at Coach Dante 31 on Twitter, Coach Dante 31 on IG, man, and Coach Dante on the Spotlight Sports Network, and I'll be on ASAP as well. So we all partnership with each other. We all one big family, and we stream all day, every day, man. Fast Break Network, Fast Break Podcast, and morning shows and all of that. So we be busy all through the day. So y'all come check out all sports, all plays, and come check out Spotlight Sports Network as well.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling y'all, check him out because I'm telling you, it is. I love just being around this guy. This guy, Coach Dante,
Yeah.
he's phenomenal. He's funny. I just love being around him. And on top of that, this dude, he ballsy. So I'm telling you, the last 3 weeks, his upsets have been crazy. And the
Yep.
fact that you can keep it up for 3 weeks is wild to me. The fact that you can keep it up for 3 weeks. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, he'll be right, and he's not even faced. He's just like,
Yep.
told ya, told ya.
Yep.
Mad casual, mad chill. Like, yo, like, come on, bro. Like, let me say, like, you literally pick the far fetched stuff, and when it happens, you're like, hey, yo, listen, I told you what you want me to say. And
Yeah.
Coach Dante we got a comment. Coach Dante might as well be a college football coach. I'm telling you,
Hey,
he got it in
hey,
his head
I'm
like
telling you,
that.
man. Hey man, I'm telling you, I just pick. I don't need like really. I just like when I go down the line, I just pick. I don't just pick the game. Why I don't just pick a crazy game. I just pick a game that I think that just really I think like Oklahoma versus Baylor. I saw that upset coming a mile away. And if you
Mm-hmm.
actually watch Oklahoma, they have not played well throughout conference play. They
No,
almost lost to Tulane. They
they
almost lost to
struggled,
Tulane. They struggled. They almost
and
came.
it's
Tulane almost came
and,
back and beat them.
and their problem is that during those games they're just not up. They play
Yeah.
lethargic and almost like they're bored, and that's a big
Yep.
problem. Like, and
Yep.
I will say this, Coach, when you say about the upsets, you're not just saying, "Oh, here's the upset," and that's it. You're explaining
Yep.
why. You're giving reasons, so it's logical. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
logical.
And what you
Ladies
call it
and gentlemen,
in Oregon? To me,
yes,
Oregon wasn't even that good of a football team. They wasn't really that good. They got dominated by Stanford, and
yep.
they got Utah. Utah just beat the holy hell out of them. Holy hell out of that team.
Yup.
Just I mean that was obvious. That was the obvious pick for me. So again, to able to go 3 weeks in a row and just picking upsets. I mean, it's just fun. It's just fun doing it, man.
Yeah, bro. It takes. I'm telling you, bro. That's special. Follow your boy on Twitter at Prideful Takes. I love to argue with y'all. By the way, the Florida Gators need to hit this man up. That is like the comment of the night.
Oh hell.
Follow us on Twitter at Prideful Takes. If there's anything you guys see that you want me to talk about, feel free to tag me. And if it's interesting, I'll definitely put it on the show. Catch us on Facebook. We go live there and you'll be able to interact with me and all that stuff. And if you don't have Facebook, that's fine. We're on YouTube at Prideful Takes. Visit our website,
Yep.
www.pridefultakes.com. Not only is every episode of the podcast there, but we also have original articles. And also, we are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, the Prideful Takes podcast. Coach Dante, I appreciate you being here. To Gritty and Yuki and
Appreciate
Rio
it,
in the
man.
chat, I appreciate you guys. Coach, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor, and
Always.
I hope that the next time you have your show, invite me, cause I'll be up in
Hey
here.
man,
And
I got you, bro. I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up again tomorrow because I got another collab with a Giants fan, Mac the Giant. So I'm definitely gonna hit you up tomorrow, man. So we can get this, we get that collab in and talk about the Eagles and Giants again.
Yes, sir. 100%.
Yes, sir,
I
man.
appreciate
Appreciate
my
you.
guy. On behalf of Coach
Yes,
Dante,
sir.
it is your boy Pride, and we will be right back here Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Be safe.
Knew where that was going. That was a great read. Oh, Lillard from the logo. That'll quiet the
2 on the season. 2nd and 1 for the Bills. They handle the rush. Allen looking. End zone!
To Shohei Ohtani. Center field. Let's watch it go.
Did several of those inside low kicks.